The Jets added some offensive line depth on waivers today. We're going to talk about it. Hey, what's going on? I'm Matt O'Leary, back with another video, and today I'll be talking about Nate Herbig, someone the Jets claimed on waivers and why it's a good thing that they claimed him on waivers. Before we get started today, I just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary, and why, if you haven't already, please make sure to check out the Just Jets podcast. New episodes come out every single Monday, and of course, subscribe to the Patreon. We got a new show going on over there now, Exit 16 West, the Jets podcast, and we had Jets Today as our first guest. All right, so you're probably asking yourself, who is Nate Herbig? Which is fine. I think that's a reasonable question for the average football fan. And he's been in the league now for 3 years. He was an undrafted free agent, and he was originally a part of, well, Joe Douglas's scoop ups when he was there at the Philadelphia Eagles. Right before he left, Nate Herbig was one of the guys that he helped scout, and he brought in as an undrafted free agent, or I guess hinted at maybe, or suggested that the Eagles should bring in. And then now, obviously, he brings him in when he's the GM of the Jets. But over 3 years, he has 17 starts in the 3 years. 12 came in 2020. 5 came in 2021. So this is a guy who's a backup. A high-quality backup, I would say, but definitely a backup, which is, again, fine. I'm all for adding more depth on the offensive line, which is what this is. He mostly played at right guard, a little bit at left guard in 2020, but I think he was better suited as a right guard. And he does have some limited snaps at center, but he struggled at center. I don't think you want him playing center. I think he's better suited as a guard. And, well, I kind of like it because I think he has a higher upside than some of these other guys who are on the roster. For example, Dan Feeney. I've talked about it time and time again. I love Dan Feeney as a person. Like, I want to hang out with Dan Feeney, drink some beers, go to the Islanders game, shotgun on the Jumbotron, all that, the whole nine. Do I want him blocking for Zach Wilson on Sundays? No, not necessarily. Does this mean that it pushes Greg Van Roten off the roster? Probably, yes. And I think that's time. Greg Van Roten's obviously a little bit more costly than what Herbig is going to be. You obviously got him pretty much off the scrap heap. Luckily, the Jets are still pretty high up on the waiver wire selection. They're fourth, I believe, there. So that's a plus. That's one of the advantages that you have. And the Jets were able to claim him. And I think he'll come in. And I think he has a really good shot to make this roster. Again, last year, limited snaps, but 1 sack, 4 hits, 11 hurries allowed. He was pretty productive. And again, do I expect him to start? No. From left to right, it'll probably be Fant, Tomlinson, Connor McGovern. Then it would be Elijah Vera Tucker and Mekhi Becton on the right side. Maybe Mekhi plays on the left side and George Fant moves back over to right tackle. Possibly. That's, I think, up for debate. But I think you know who your starting 5 is going to be. Beyond that, they needed more depth because right now it's Greg Van Roten, who, again, with his cap hit, I think they're eventually just going to move on from him. And then after that, it was pretty much Dan Feeney, which, again, I'm just not all that confident, unfortunately, in him having to come in. But if, God forbid, and obviously hope this doesn't happen, but if there is an injury to either Elijah Vera Tucker or if there's an injury to Lincoln Tomlinson, can Herbig come in for a couple games and be serviceable? Yes. And obviously this is someone that Joe Douglas is comfortable with. He knows him quite well from the scouting process. And I like it. I think it's fine. Am I going to throw a party over it? No. Am I going to pass it off and say that it's nothing? Also, no. I think it's, a smart decision in trying to build out some more depth, which you need. Everyone was saying you need more depth on the offensive line. So they brought in Max Mitchell in the NFL draft, signed Nate Herbig today, and feel a lot more comfortable with either of those two guys coming in if there's an injury to a tackle or a guard versus Connor McDermott or Chuma Edoga or Dan Feeney. And who knows? Like in a pinch, could he play center? Yeah, probably. So could Feeney. So I think both Feeney and Herbig stick on the roster. I think GVR is gone, but maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. Maybe I'll go through and do a way too early 53-man roster prediction. That'll be fun. Let me know what you think of the signing down below in the comments or on social media. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Once again, I'm Matt O'Leary. I'll talk to you next time.